Hi everyone, I was actually just in the process of making your other R video, but many of you seem to be having some trouble with your two choice tests. So if you've chosen to do, your two different choices of using a phylogeny. So if you've chosen to look at the rates of evolution and its effect on phenotypic diversity. So this is basically asking is there more speciation and diversity in a tropical habitat than a similar temperate habitat based on a certain subset of fish? Okay, so you already have the tree file. It's here. So you download this. Yep. We want to say save file. And it disappeared into outer space. Okay, that's fine. Leave it in outer space for a minute. And then you also need, see there's instructions right here. You also need the data file. The data file, unfortunately, just opens like this. But all you have to do is copy it. So I'm hitting Control C, opening my notepad. Oh, this is my thing for the next project. Making a file. And then you need to name this grunts data.txt, and I'm gonna just put it on my desktop, not in any folder, just on my desktop. Save. Yeah, see, I do want to replace this. Great, because I already have one. Okay, so now, oh, I need the instructions. Now you need the R code here, and the R code will take you directly to R. Great. And my R looks like this, and so I'm gonna open, oh yeah, that's fine. Just ignore all of this, and I will just hit enter a bunch of times. So, oops. Hit enter a bunch of times down here, so that goes away. Finish that later. Okay, so I have my R code. I need to do one more thing, which is make sure that my tree file went to the desktop. So I'm going to drag it to the desktop. Then I'm going to open the desktop. Find it. Starts with a G. Grunts. Oh, here. Grunts, SIMAP, trees. If it put a number there, that's going to be a problem. So you're going to want to say rename and delete that. And that's okay. And so I'm just going to delete this one because I have one here. So here's my trees. And down here is my data. And so we're ready to go. Okay. You might get an error across the top that you haven't installed phylogeny. If that is the case, then you go to packages and you can say install phylogeny. There it is. I already did that, so I'm not going to do that. So then I just run it. Oh, one more thing. Set your working directory. Session, set working directory, choose directory. Desktop. That's it. Just your desktop. And you know if you've done that right because in files over here, I can see my data file and my maps file. And actually I could click on these and it would pull them in, but that's going to screw up your order of things over here. So I'm not going to do that. So I'm running the library. Loading required the package maps. All right. Do we do maps? Great. So now I'm going to call up my Nexus file. See, that worked, and I can tell it worked because here it is. Boop, boop, boop. And it's humongous. It has 90 trees in it. And then I'm going to call up my data file. And again, I can tell that that worked because, let's clear that one out. Because here it is. Okay, so ignore these other things. They're for the other project. That appears to be what you guys are screwing up from what I can tell. So then you're going to run this thing. It all runs fine. You make your trees. Then you're going to run this thing. It runs well. Then you do this guy. Oops. I actually didn't do that right. Yeah. That's what you get when you press it too fast. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I didn't run that line correctly. Run it again. There, that worked. That's thinking about working. So when you don't have your cursor back down here, don't move on. Just wait, give it a second to finish that thing. Because it's got a lot of work to do. We're still giving it a second. We're still giving it a second. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, and that finally worked. And here's where you have a problem because it says lines 40. You need to highlight lines 44 through 61. So 44 through 61. It's from that doodad to this doodad. Okay, and so then we hit run. Uh-oh. Maybe I didn't do something right. Oh, I did. I skipped a thing. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, now we need to run 44 through 61. And it's going to think for a few minutes. What you tell it to do is look at this trait over 90 times 100 things. So it's optimizing all of them. It's seeing what the likelihood of all of these character states are. Okay? And then we're going to see if they converge, as in if you run this 90 times or 9,000 times, does it get to the same place? Yes. And then we will look at the results. There they are. And then we will look at the standard deviation of the results. They're over here. And then you are calculating the likelihood of these different trees based on if you had selected these things at random. And then it gives you a table. What you want it to tell you is if the average speciation rate is higher in tropical versus temperate climates. And so here you are, model of speciation. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Model of speciation rate in tropical climate, in temperate climates is 1.41, and in tropical climates is 12.4. So it's faster in the tropical climate, which is what their hypothesis was anyway. Okay, you can do this.